Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Startup Stage, brought to you by the Consumer Technology Association. And now, it's time for the pitch competition. To kick things off, please welcome Executive Director of the CTA Foundation, Steve Ewell.
All right. CES 2023, I am thrilled to be back here as we do our pitch competition. This is one of my favorite activities every year. We're going to have 9 incredible companies that are going to share the work that they're doing. We're going to have 3 incredible judges that are going to be asking some questions and doing some review. But best yet, all of you are going to have an opportunity to participate in this and help vote and select our audience choice winner. As I said, my name's Steve Ewell. I'm the Executive Director of the Consumer Technology Association Foundation. We are the charitable arm of CTA, the group behind CES, and we're thrilled to be celebrating our 10th year this year as a foundation and our 5th year of doing this kind of pitch competition. This year, as we look at the theme of CES, of Be In It, we wanted to look at how we expand that into the work of so many incredible innovators that are helping people get out into the world, get engaged, use different types of technologies. So we have some really diverse types of technology that you're going to get a chance to hear from today. And all of it will be, I'm just mind blown by some of the things that we have on stage. I do want to thank 2 companies. First of all, Benji Locke and Robbie Cabral for his support and sponsorship of the event. And Canon with Mr. Fukuda and Chris Sedlica. Sorry. Thank you so much to Canon for your support for this event. So I'm going to actually ask you, unlike a lot of events where we say put away your phones, I'm actually going to ask you to pull your phones out. And if you would go to the website, Slido, it's SLIDO.com, and then it's /CTAF for CTA Foundation, CES. So CTAF, CES. And you'll get a page that pops up. It'll ask you to join the event. We have one question right here that will pop up immediately saying, basically describe yourself a bit. We want to know who's in the audience. Are you from a startup? Are you from a more established company? Are you investors? Are you media? Others that are attending this event here. So do us a favor and click that button. Now, you won't get the same type of question after each startup pitch. Essentially, after that, you'll get one question, rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is a low score, 10 is a high score. We'll tally all that in the back, and at the end, we'll get a chance to tell you about the great choices that you guys have made as far as the event goes here today. So with that, now it's my pleasure to introduce our MC for the event today. Mr. Albert Lawrence is a host and producer for Amazon Live. He's also a correspondent for CBS Innovation Nation. He's just an incredible guy, and I'm excited for him to host us today. Please give it up for Albert. Thank you. And Moaz just showed up. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, amazing.
Hey, what's up, friends? How are we doing today? It's fun because this is so live that things are consistently evolving. Like, I just learned some new stuff as soon as I got up on the stage, but it's something that you're going to be very excited about. Now, as Steve already mentioned to you, this is not only live, but it's also interactive. So we're going to need for you to really cheer on each of our startups as they get on up here. Can we do that for them as each of the startups come on up? Give me a little preview. How are you going to make it sound? Excellent. But I'm sure you're going to be even better for them when they get up here. But in order to help to guide us to understand, some additional questions, some things that we should be thinking about with these startups, we have a fantastic roster of judges. So please, let's also make some noise for our judges as they come up to the stage. First, coming on up, we have Nicole Butler. Nicole, come on up, please. Now, Nicole is COO of KW Inc. Hey, I'm going to read your bio as you take your time getting over. It's perfect. So Nicole leads Kerry Washington's business ventures, partnerships, private investments, and day-to-day operations. Nicole also serves as an advisor to startups and, of course, is an advocate for technology that drives positive social change. Make some noise for Nicole. Now, next coming on up to the stage, welcome to the stage, friends, Moaz. Moaz, Hamid, thank you so much for making it today. Appreciate you. Now, Moaz is a founding partner at Movement Ventures. He's a mission-driven technologist, also a strategist. He solves for the future of jobs, medicine, and accessible technologies, incredibly relevant for today, and also the role of robotics and AI. Moaz, thank you so much for being here today. See, told you we got some new changes happening right here. Give me 1 second. Real time. Now, great. Now, please welcome to the stage our final judge for today, Mr. Ben Moultrie. Make some noise for Ben, y'all. Ben. So Ben is a managing partner at Spock Ventures, a technologist and also an advocate for innovations and forward-looking policies for the future of aging and longevity. So you can see we have a very illustrious panel of judges right here. I'm going to ask each of them real quick, just in one word, to tell me what it is that they're going to be looking forward to the most as these startups come on up to stage. Maybe one word, Nicole, for something that these startups have to have in order to captivate you today.
Really impactful short-term and long-term effects.
Oh, that's a great, nice, long run-on word. Just dashes in between there. That's perfect, though.
Impact.
Awesome, great. Thank you. Moaz, what about you?
A strong reason behind the problem that they're solving.
Okay. Strong reason. Fantastic. And Ben, what you got?
Well, my colleagues have been brilliant, but I'm going to say scalability.
Scalability, okay. All right, so you hear that, startups. Also, as Steve outlined today, we're going by the numbers of 3, 2, 1. That means that when I call a startup up to the stage, they're gonna have 3 minutes to do their presentation, and then our judges are gonna have 2 minutes in order to ask questions, and then they're gonna have an additional minute to do their judging. But I'm gonna use that additional minute to come down to you, all right? Because during that minute, I'm going to find someone in the audience to say one thing that they really enjoyed about the presentation that just happened, all right? So pay attention, because I might be coming to you. I might put you on the spot. All right, so please, coming on up to the stage, please welcome Team Biomodem, Inc. Biomodem, Inc.
Hi there. My name is Ray Browning, and I'm with Biomodem. I'm the CEO and co-founder, and I want to start by saying this is the most exciting and impactful work of my career. At Biomodem, we make wearable robots that help people to walk. Why? Because for over 1 billion people worldwide, the simple act of walking is a challenge. And for those individuals, those walking challenges make everyday tasks difficult, if not impossible, and that results in significant healthcare and productivity costs. If you have trouble walking, you really have 3 choices. 1, don't walk. That results in physical inactivity and poor health. You may be prescribed physical therapy, but getting access to consistent long-term PT and effective therapy is difficult. Or you may be prescribed an assistive device like the one shown here, an ankle-foot orthoses. But those do not lead to long-term improvements in mobility. We think we can do better. I'd like to introduce to you the Biomodem Spark, which is a robotic ankle assist device that is lightweight and easy to use. It's a wearable robot, and it delivers effective, efficient, and on-demand adaptive assistance that can transform lives, and that can be done anywhere and anytime. So to give you an idea of the impact of this technology, I'd like to show you a short video of a child with cerebral palsy before and after using the technology. This is the child at visit number 1. Notice the walking speed is 1 mile per hour. not fast enough to cross a crosswalk. 4 weeks later, after using the device 3 times a week, this is their walking. They've nearly doubled their walking speed. Most importantly, this is what the parents say. This is life-changing. We're taking advantage of advances in electrification of transport and robotics to tap into a massive and growing market in personal mobility solutions. We think that market size is nearly $250 million, only focused on rehab and healthy aging. Right now, you can get our device if you're a research partner of ours and you're conducting groundbreaking research into how to use this technology. Later this year, we'll be in the rehab market, so physical therapists and patients can use our technology as a reimbursed medical device. And then we'll be turning our sights to the healthy aging community of the health and wellness technology. I am incredibly honored to be working with an immensely talented group of people to bring this to life, who have decades of experience in bringing game-changing, innovative products to market. So how can we work together? Connect with us or invest with us? I'd like to leave you with this. All of us will experience impaired mobility, and you can either be inactive and in poor health, or you can thrive. And we hope to help you thrive. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Biomodem. Judges?
Dr. Ray, pleasure to see you in person, and thank you for coming with us.
Of course.
And my question for you, what was the reason behind you starting this company?
I'm a firm believer, and have been in my entire life, that we unlock human potential through our ability to move. And that's where the genesis of this came from.
Will this be covered by insurance?
Will this be covered by insurance? Yes, in the long term. Although, as you're aware of any medical device, that will take a little while. But yes, it will be a reimbursed medical device product.
And how are people able to get the product?
They'll be able to get it through, initially they'll be experiencing it through their physical therapist, and then it will be available through an orthotist. In the health and wellness market, they'll be able to buy it direct to consumer.
Can you please speak to maintenance support?
Maintenance and support. So we have a service plan. The device is intended to last for 3 to 5 years. We know the service intervals. Those are well described. We have a support plan in place to be able to keep the device functioning properly for individuals. That's all built into the process of acquiring the technology.
How easy is it for someone with a disability to use it by themselves?
Great question. We set out to do usability testing, and our goal was that a person with a disability would be able to put on the device and get it working in less than 3 minutes, and we've been successful with that. We've achieved that milestone. Children with cerebral palsy have been able to put on the device and leave the laboratory in less than 3 minutes.
And how long does it take them to get used to it?
It depends on how excited they are. Generally, we see kids adapt to the technology in less than 5 minutes.
What's the expected lifespan of the product?
3 to 5 years is the expected lifespan.
All right. Let's clap it up.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. Wonderful. And in fact, you know what? You might want to hang out for a second, because in just a moment, one of the people in this audience is going to say something very, very kind about you, all right? So you can hand those off. So judges, I'll give you a moment in order to tabulate your scores. And now, while I give them a minute, I'm coming out here because I heard a lot of engagement there, and I want to find out what you might want to say really touched you about the Biomodem presentation. Let's see. Somebody just throw your hand up if you have something that really touched you about this particular presentation that you want to share. All right, I'm coming around. All right, here we go.
Hi, I really appreciated that the videos and the images that were shown here showed a diversity and a range of disabilities, and not just pigeonholing people into one category of disabled or having mobility issues.
Katia? Thank you, Katia, for that. Everybody, please clap it up for Katia. Thank you. All right, judges, how we doing? We good? Fantastic. All right, so now we are going to move on to our next startup. So please, give a rousing introduction to Team Good Maps. Make some noise for Good Maps.
Hi, everyone. How are you all today? I am Evelyn Titchener. I am with Good Maps. I'm the VP of Sales and Partnerships. We have a lot of people out here today, so I would like to see a raise of hands. Who had trouble finding this pitch competition today? Or who has already gotten lost at CES? That's probably everybody. Good Maps is working to resolve these navigational challenges that we all face every day, whether that's at conferences and airports and retail locations. It's always hard to find things that we're looking for. So Good Maps is an indoor digital mapping company that uses computer vision and AI to develop digital twins of the indoors. And so we're able to do this by using LiDAR point cloud data, where we collect on-site. We have a handheld scanner, and we send our mapping team to buildings to collect LiDAR data and develop 2D and 3D representations of indoor spaces. With these foundational maps, we are able to use camera-based positioning, so using the phone camera and comparing that to the original scan of the data that we took, and we're able to provide indoor navigation technology to help you find places like this pitch competition. This navigation technology is revolutionary in the fact that we do not have to install any equipment indoors. So a lot of indoor navigation technology requires beacons, QR codes, and infrastructure that needs maintenance. We're totally infrastructure free, and we're able to quickly implement a building just by doing a LiDAR scan and collecting geo-referenced images. So our navigation app utilizes the camera-based positioning, and it's fully accessible for anyone who is blind or low vision, mobility impaired, deaf or hard of hearing, or just someone like me trying to find the milk or pasta in a grocery store, or my favorite shop in a mall, or my airport gate. So it is fully accessible and provides turn-by-turn directions to my destination within 3 feet of accuracy. Some of the benefits is, it gives 3 feet of accuracy in retail locations, airport locations, universities, and all of our users feel that it makes them more confident, more independent. It's accurate, and it makes their lives happier, and this is a helpful tool in navigating the world. So Good Maps is currently working in the UK, Canada, Mexico, as well as Europe, and we're moving into other markets as well. Some of our top clients are TransPennine Express, ASDA, Network Rail, Procter & Gamble, and providing navigation to anyone that comes into their spaces. So I'll leave you with this. We have a live demo at the North Hall if you would like to come over and try Good Maps. It allows you to get from Starbucks to the Good Maps location and booth, and it's completely free for you guys to try. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Team Good Maps. Hold on to it. Judges?
Hi, Evelyn. Nice to meet you
Hi.
again.
How are you?
My question for you, does it only work via app, or can it work web-based? And also, can it integrate with existing mapping application?
So the navigation is in an app. We have a web portal as well for the venue owners. It's called Good Maps Studio. It allows you to edit, update your maps, and those basically allow you to maintain your maps so that you're not constantly having to redo your maps. We're working to make that integratable into your own website. So you have an interactive map on the website as well as your navigation app.
So your business model is B2B?
Yes, so there's an upfront fee to the venue owner to have their building mapped, and then there's a yearly license fee to support the navigation and the mapping platform.
Okay, my question is kind of related. Virtual tours of facilities like museums have been around for a while, so I'm just curious as to whether any of the embedded data there could be used by your process for navigation.
So a lot of the data that's included in virtual tours is stuff like, what is the visual description? What is the audio description in the museums? All of that information can be consumed by Good Maps and integrated in the Good Maps platform. So, the descriptions of the artists, the links to their websites, the visual description of the artwork piece, we can consume that data and it can be integrated into Good Maps Explore.
So how does your company work with disability rights organizations and advocacy groups to ensure that its products and services meet the needs of the community?
So we work with a number of groups. Our parent company is American Printing House for the Blind. So we lead with the mission of accessibility. One of our missions is basically by leading with accessibility, this is implementing a curb cut effect for anyone that wants to use this navigation app. So we work with American Printing House for the Blind, Open Doors organizations, and we have multiple people on our team that help push that along and confirm that we are integrating people who are using the app into our app design.
Can I take one more? So what's the story behind the company? Why did you guys decide to start it?
So American Printing House for the Blind started Good Maps because they had started a previous mission of accessible indoor navigation. And they quickly realized there's something here. This can be used by many other people besides people who are blind or low vision. And they wanted to make it a scalable opportunity where we could create indoor maps and create better positioning that would make this a scalable company across the globe and take this well beyond the reach of people who are blind or low vision and make it available to anyone who wants to use it.
Thank you, Evelyn.
Okay, I have one more quick one. Quickie.
Judges.
Who are your main competitors and why hasn't Google already done this?
Oh, wow. Okay. Our main competitors are Waymap, Lazarillo. There's a few other accessible companies that are focusing on indoor navigation, but the main problem is the positioning. There's so much hardware that has to be installed, and it's not very accurate. And then the beacons fall off the walls, the batteries die, so a lot of people are having trouble making that jump into better positioning. And why Google hasn't done it, I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure on that.
Thank you, Evelyn.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. Thank you, judges. And so now I will give you judges a moment to tabulate your scores. And friends here in the audience, I want to remind you that you also have work to do during this time as well. Make sure that you are scoring each of our startups as we go. So just make sure that on the app, if you have any questions at all about the interface, throw your hand on up and we can help you out on that. But I'm coming back down because I want to see, thank you, who has something to say about Good Maps? Who has something to say about Good Maps? I'm gonna, you know what? Henry, do you have any thoughts?
Terrific.
Terrific. All right, short and concise. Let's clap it up. Do we agree with Henry? Thank you. And let's see, judges, we're good? Fantastic. All right, so we're going to move on to our third startup today. Please make some noise, because coming to the stage is Team Ochi.
Hello, everybody. I am Colin, one of the founders of Ochi. So we make full body movement analysis accessible to everybody. So movement plays an essential part of everything that we do, and in our health and our well-being from your old to your youngest age. The problem is that, and if we move, we do sports, we sit, we do it badly, we get hurt, we get pain. So we eventually stop and get into that lazy mood of, all right, then I cannot do it good, so I won't continue. The best option that you have now to have a proper movement analysis done is to go to a lab or a specialist. But this can be very expensive and very time consuming. And inside of an event like running, which I think that a lot of you do, there is actually 79% of runners get injured. we have built a solution that you can just use your phone with just a video with no captures, no sensors that analyzes the way how you move, tell you what you're doing good, what you're not doing good, and what exactly that you should work on to improve. The business model of this is very simple. So the end consumers can just buy an analysis for themselves, or the coaches, or the medical professionals. And since we have started out the beta testing in September of last year, we have had over 2,500 videos analyzed through the platform, and we have been picked up by some of the big brands because what they see we're doing is applicable for all of their solutions that they have. I am so happy to have built this because first I started out to build this product just for myself because I had many pain, and then I have a team of expertise, and in terms of the medical side, the technical side, that helps me along the way. So what I want and is to work with all of you to help you to move better, so you have less pain and no injuries. So thank you very much.
Thank you, judges.
Hello, Khaldun. How are you?
I am well.
I'm so sorry about losing the World Cup. I hope better chance 4 years.
It's very sad.
So my question for you, do I need another person to help me with it, or can I use it by myself?
So you can try both. So you can ask your friend or anybody to film you, or you can just set your phone and you can vid yourself. So either way.
Because I'm a runner, and usually my friend don't wake up so early to go and run with me.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
My second question is that what's the story behind this again?
So myself, I had a lot of pain, and I go to biomechanics lab to help me solve those pain. But it's very expensive to go to a lab. So I wanted to take the lab out of the lab and make it accessible to everybody.
And last question for me, how are you seeing the engagement with the users that are currently using the app? Are they coming back frequently?
Yes, very engaged. So we have over 2,500 videos analyzed through the platform. And actually, the platform had crashed many times because there's too many users.
So can your analysis help to improve walking mechanics or balance?
Yes. So we take both the running and walking, and also the way how your feet move, the rotation of the feet to see how well you're balancing or not. So yes.
Who owns the patent to this technology?
Us. We build, everything is built and internally by our very great team.
Okay, great.
All right. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing, man. Thank you. All right, so we'll give the judges a moment to tabulate. I'll give you a moment also to open up your phones and to go ahead and mark down your scores for Ochi. And let's see. This side over here. Somebody tell me something that you learned from this Ochi presentation, perhaps that you didn't know beforehand. Even if it's the stat about the percentage of runners that actually injure themselves, because that frightened me, actually.
That's why I don't run.
Okay, all right, this is why you don't run. Thank you for that. Thank you. All right, are we good, judges? Wonderful. Pardon me. So now, please welcome up to the stage our next startup team, Team Om's Quest. Make some noise for Om's Quest.
Hi, I'm Allison. Hi, I'm Etienne.
And we're so excited to be part of the CTA pitch competition and to introduce you to Ohm's Quest, the world's first sensory escape room themed game console. Ohm's Quest lets you embark on interactive, sensory, intergenerational games across time with our protagonist, Miss Ohm. You solve puzzles and riddles in a limited time frame together with your family. We were so excited when we tested this that we found that it was a hit across multiple ages and abilities. In fact, our fastest test group was a duo of grandfather, granddaughter. They were amazing. And so our target audience for this is adults who are looking for educational activities to play together with their kids or grandkids.
So we are really excited to introduce this to you. And we were very careful about the design of the object. We took inspiration from the early 1900s in order to build this cool steampunk-looking device that is equally appealing to older and younger generations. We also took great care with the materials, with a mix of brass and wood, so that you have a cold and warm feeling when you touch it. So Alison here, my co-founder, she's the technical part of the company. She has experience in working with IoT devices, and she created the game engine for the console with an interactive in-system that makes sure that the experience is frustration-free for all players. On my hand, I'm in charge of the strategic vision for Ohm's Quest. I've worked in several startups, and I'm going to make sure that Ohm's Quest is a commercial success.
And so far, we are on a roll because we had a successful Kickstarter in June 2022 with $250,000 raised. We're excited to get that out to our backers for Christmas this year with 12 hours of gameplay included. When we were doing our playtesting, we collected a lot of data from our playtesters, and we were so excited and so proud that most of them, the majority, were hyped to replay the game as soon as possible. And so we have a booth here at Eureka Park. What's our booth number?
61201.
Yeah, so you can come play the demo, get your hands on it yourself. And we're also accepting pre-orders, so if you want to get your hands on it for Christmas, it makes a great Christmas gift. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Team Ohm's Quest. Judges?
First thing, I love the hair color. It's really my favorite color. I'm wearing them in my bracelet.
Thank you very much.
How are you dealing with the supply chain issues related to creating hardware devices?
Supply chain issues. Right, so we're pre-ordering the components far in advance of production. Yeah.
And you're doing the assembly home?
We are hoping to assemble in France, yes.
That's awesome.
So, I'm sorry.
Oh, just real quick on that. Do you carry the inventory?
Do we carry the inventory?
Do you keep it on hand, or do you make it to order?
We will do production batches with a certain minimum batch size.
In terms of, have you taken into consideration your design consideration folks who may have motor skill impairments?
So for motor skill, so the idea is really like it's a collaborative game for 2 to 5 players, and it's inclusive if we have people that do not share the same disabilities. So let's say if someone has motor skill problems, it would be good if it can team with someone without those problems.
I'm interested through all of your game testing, which age groups and demographics did it resonate most with?
Yeah, so it resonated really well with families with kids because parents could play with their kids, and because it's time constrained, parents can make time for this kind of experience and sharing. But it also resonates really well with young adults that are already fan of escape rooms.
And what's next for you guys?
So the next challenges for us is we want to deliver everything on time before Christmas 2023. So we are doing everything so that we can start the first production batch in June this year.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Team Ohm's Quest. Thank you. That looks like too much fun. Judges will give you a moment. And viewers, audience, fellow judges, I'll give you a moment as well, too, to lock in your votes, to lock in your scores on your phone. Meanwhile, start thinking about something that you enjoyed about Ohm's Quest, because I'm coming to this side next. I'm coming over there to ask y'all what you liked about Ohm's Quest. All right? I'm thinking maybe someone in the third row over here. Any thoughts about Ohm's Quest? Anything you'd love to share? Anything you learned? All right, fourth row.
I love the retro and I love the LEDs.
Thank you. Extra shout out for the retro and the LEDs on Ohm's Quest. Make some noise for that. Thank you so much, Abraham. All right, and are we good, judges? All locked in? Fantastic. All right, so now comes our only break that we'll have in the program. This is just a breather for you, but here to help to facilitate this breathing and also to share something very important with you, please come on back to the stage, Steve Ewell. Make some noise for Steve.
All right, I can't believe we're already about halfway through. Give it up for all of the companies that have pitched already. And thank you all for being incredible participants. I'm looking at the voting. It's going great, and I can't wait to see how the next 5 companies go as well. But before we get to that, I did just want to share a little bit. I mentioned in the beginning that I head up the Consumer Technology Association Foundation. So we are the charitable foundation that's affiliated with CTA. That is the organization behind CES. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary as a charitable foundation that gives back on behalf of the industry. And we're specifically working to help older adults and people with disabilities through the use of our industry's incredible technologies. When we look at the world that we are all in today, when we look at the demographic changes that are happening, certainly here in the US, but in many places around the world, we recognize that good news is we're getting older. The population is growing as far as an older adult population, as well as for people with disabilities. There's some challenges that come with that as well, though. And I see technology as being an incredible tool that can help enable people to live independently, whether it's at work, at home, or at play. And we're seeing some really great examples of those types of technologies here today. We do our work through 3 main activities. We do convenings. We bring people together, the key stakeholders that we're certainly seeing here at CES. We focus on promoting innovation. That's doing contests like this where we get to really showcase some of the great efforts that are going on and really use that as an example for so many in the industry that are doing great work in this space. And then third, we do fund. So we fund nonprofit organizations all over the country that are using technology. Over the course of our history, we've given out over $6 million in support to nonprofit organizations that are using our industry's technology to improve the lives of older adults and people with disabilities. You know, this is just a bunch of logos of many of the organizations that we've supported over the last year, and there's many, many more if we wanted to go back over the course of our organization, but they really represent an incredibly diverse group of organizations from around the country. And we couldn't do this without the support of some incredible companies. I certainly mentioned, once again, Canon and Benjilock for their support for this event, but also all of the individuals as well as companies that are listed on this page here. We really couldn't do it without them. And because of CTA's incredible support, they cover all of our overhead, plus quite a bit of our other programming, and it enables us, as we get additional support, to do more programs that go directly towards our mission. So with that, I will make my pitch. If you would like to join us in supporting the CTA Foundation, you will see in the Slido on the menu up towards the top, there is a link to support the CTA Foundation. There's a QR code up here as well, or you can just go to ctafoundation.tech and learn more about all the work that we're doing. So I do want to thank you all for your support, because it does enable us to do more of these types of activities, which will directly result in improvements of the lives of the people that we're serving. So thank you all for everything that you're doing. And with that, I would like to turn it back over to Albert to kick off the second half.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve. Let's make some more noise for the CTA Foundation. All right, judges, are you feeling good? Are you feeling revved up for this final half? Okay.
Very excited.
Very excited. Fantastic questions coming from y'all. So now, please, welcome to the stage, friends, Team Roboca Vision Technologies. Make some noise for Team Roboca Vision Technologies.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rebecca Rosenberg, and I am the founder and CEO of Roboca, where we're developing assistive technology specifically for people with moderate, uncorrectable vision impairment. One of those people being me. So this is me in about the 2nd grade doing my homework. And one of the first things you might notice is just how close my face needs to be to that book in order for me to see what's going on. The second thing you might notice is that I'm actually not wearing any glasses. And the reason for that is because the type of vision impairment I have is not correctable with glasses, or LASIK surgery, or really anything else we have available to us as humans right now. And as it turns out, it's not just me. More than 25 million Americans have some type of moderate, uncorrectable vision impairment. So let's break that down a little further. You can think of vision impairment as very much a spectrum, where on one side you have those with perfect 20/20 vision, and on the other side, complete and total blindness. In the middle is what's referred to as visually impaired. If you're relatively close to the right side of the spectrum, generally all you need is a pair of glasses or LASIK surgery to get you back up to perfect or effectively perfect vision. And on the other side, there are devices like the CCTV and the Iris Vision that can aid people who are blind or very near blind. But for those of us in the middle, things are a little blurrier. We need more help than glasses are able to provide, but the technologies on the left are bulky, expensive, and overall just not designed for us. And so that is where the Roboca app comes in. The Roboca app allows users to create custom video filters and overlay them on a live camera feed from their phone in order to personalize how they see the world to their specific needs in any situation. Our patent-pending MVP is currently on the market and is being used all over the world. And we're also working on a proprietary algorithm that will help create these video filters automatically for users. We officially launched about 6 months ago, and in that time, our users have made more than 40,000 different vision adjustments using the Roboca app. We're currently going to operate on a freemium model with paid tiered upgrades for access to additional features, and we expect that if we can capture just 2% of the market on our lowest tier plan, we'll make more than $24 million in revenue in our first year. But Roboca is way more than just an app. We plan to be the go-to company for all things moderate low vision. And this is the team that's getting us here. Myself, our CTO, and our fantastic social media manager. And we're supported by an even more incredible group of advisory board members with experience in everything from engineering to marketing to entrepreneurship. And they represent all of the organizations that you see here. These organizations and individuals are helping us create a world where everyone can simply see. And we hope that you will as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rebecca. Judges?
Thank you, Rebecca. I heard a lot of great things about you, and I was waiting to meet you. So glad you're here with us today.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, too.
What I wanted to ask you is, how easy it is to use the app, and do I need to activate my filters or change the filters every time I open the app?
So it's very easy to use. We spent about a year in beta making sure that it was very simple. You just press the buttons and can move the sliders around until things are appropriate for you. We also have a preset functionality so that when you find a combination that works really well for you in a given scenario, you can save that for quick access later the next time you open the app when you're in a similar situation.
Does this, for children who are looking to use this technology, you can use it on the iPad and other devices, and they can work with their parents? Have you piloted with a group of children as well?
There were children involved in our beta test, yes. And it does work on any iOS device, so iPhone or iPad.
So with the ongoing advances we're seeing in mobile phone camera capabilities, I'm just wondering, what do you see as barriers to entry? I mean, what's your competitive advantage?
Absolutely. So our system and overall process is patent pending, and we're currently developing an algorithm to understand how people are using the app and when and how they like to use it so that we can develop a further proprietary technology. We do take advantage of the hardware that's currently on the iPhones and the iPads, which, as you're saying, is continually improving, which really just makes Roboca all the more useful.
Can you tell us more about your technical team?
Yes, so our technical team is sitting in the back right now. Our CTO, his name is Jacob Mandelowitz, and he is a software engineer who really built the Roboca app from scratch. And we're also supported by an external development team who's helped us do a lot of back-end work. So really, really strong technical side. I also happen to be an engineer with a background in biomedical engineering and a master's degree from Johns Hopkins.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, judges. Way to go. Thank you very much. All right, we'll give our judges a moment to tabulate. All right, friends, do you guys have any questions about how you need to vote and do your scores on your phone, or we're still all good over there? Still good? Okay. All right, as a heads up, I'm coming in the middle right now. I'm gonna ask for anybody in the middle to think about something that you want to share. Okay, you've got one. For Roboca.
Yeah, we've been using it. It's the best app of its kind.
Are you on the development team, or you truly are a straight-up user?
Just a straight user.
Amazing. All right, well, let's clap it on up. Thank you so much, Dr. Calvin Roberts. Look at that, an enthusiastic review right here in the house. Are we still good, judges, or do you need a little bit more time? Okay. Fantastic. By the way, I meant to check on you. How are we feeling in terms of enthusiasm, in terms of energy? We're good? We still good, audience? Fantastic. Because we can't do this without you. We need your votes. So, coming up next to the stage, Team Celeste Innovations Incorporated. Please make some noise for Team Celeste Innovations Incorporated.
Hi, I'm Smith Patel. I'm joined by Shub, and we are the founders of Celeste. I am the first and only computer science student at University of Victoria. To make that possible, the Disability Center had to make all the course materials accessible. They had to hire a specialist to make the image descriptions. Often, my friends had to walk me to the class and show me around. It's just not me, but 284 million people around the world who face these everyday challenges and have to rely on other people, which takes away their independence.
So what are we doing? Well, these stylish glasses I'm wearing right now actually house a mic, camera, and speaker, and they'll allow people with vision loss to video call hands-free with friends, family members, and volunteers to get help virtually. We also have AI functionality that allows them to read text, recognize faces, and describe environments, so that they can start doing tasks themselves and get back their independence. Now, we have competitors, but our glasses have more features than them. We're the only ones with bone conduction speakers and an autofocus camera, and our glasses actually look like normal glasses, because it's a myth that blind people don't care what they look like. Another problem is that assistive technology is unaffordable to the majority of people, with our competitors charging between $3,000 and $5,000 for their glasses. Our glasses cost just $700, and we're able to do this because of the unique way that we process data on our glasses, which drastically reduces our hardware costs and size. Now, we're selling B2B and B2C, and we're talking to government programs in Texas and back in Canada to subsidize the glasses for us. Because of our quality and price, these programs actually estimate buying 3 times more of our glasses than all of our competitors combined. We're also discussing a substantial investment from the Canadian National Institute of the Blind to help us get launched. We can do this because of an amazing team of 9 people, that's including a lot of people with vision loss. We also have amazing advisors, including people that have previously started companies in this space before. We're launching our glasses to beta users in just 1 month, and then we're going to launch publicly over the summer. So thank you, and help us change the lives of people with vision loss.
Thank you, Team Celeste. Judges?
Sumit, was so awesome to hear your story and how you changed your entire university. It was very inspiring.
Thank you.
My question for you is, how are you guys going about the development of the device and the supply chain issues with hardware devices as well as you scale?
Yeah, so our development, we have an amazing team of developers just back there. So we're developing the software in-house. We're also working with manufacturers for the hardware of the glasses. And these manufacturers can provide up to 10,000 glasses a year, and so there's no issues in supply chain for now.
Can you explain to us how the volunteer network works and how large it is?
Absolutely. We have a volunteer network of 6.6 million volunteers, and that's all thanks to an integration we're discussing with a company called Be My Eyes that has this service currently.
So even at $700, that's a pretty expensive price point for such an incredible product. I'm wondering what additional steps you guys are going to take for underrepresented communities who need this same product and would benefit greatly from that.
Absolutely. So that's what I mentioned before with the government subsidies. So these governments want to subsidize our glasses for citizens, and so that includes people that are unemployed, that includes students in schools, organizations like that, because you're right, 700 is still a lot when you include the 72% unemployment rate for this market.
So is there a path or a need for, certainly in this country, FDA approval?
We're not considered a medical device, so there's no FDA approval needed.
What about the privacy as I'm switching on a camera and I have strangers looking with me?
Yeah. What about privacy? So with privacy, we don't allow users to store photos and videos on the glasses because there's no use case for that right now. And we're also adding a light to the camera, to the glasses, so you know when the camera is on. Yeah.
Wonderful. Let's make some more noise for Team Celeste.
Thank you.
Celeste Innovation. Great job. All right. I'm going to give the judges a moment to write. And if you two hang on out, I'm going to head on out here into the crowd and see who has something that they'd like to share about what they just learned from you today. All right. So I'm coming. If you've got something just bubbling up inside of you that you want to share about what you just witnessed from Celeste, just go ahead and throw your hand on up, and I'll come find you. Oh, great. All right, Mike, what you got?
The awesome product. With as a blind person, one hand is always tied up with a cane or a dog. So the idea that I can have hands-free access to information is really amazing. What do you anticipate adding to the product once you do some of the basic things that you've talked about?
So we want to add more features to the product, such as navigation, both indoor and outdoors. So our users would be able to get turn-by-turn guidance of wherever they want to go to. We also want to add an explore feature. For example, if I'm new to Vegas and if I'm walking down the Vegas Strip, then the glasses would be able to tell me, okay, so there is a Caesar Palace on your left, there is a pizza place on your right, etc. We also want to add advanced AI, and we are looking to partner to the apps who people in the community love.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Team Celeste. Let's make some more noise. Thank you. All right, this is good. This is cool. Y'all have a lot of hard work ahead of you. By the way, did you remember to go ahead and to write your scores down in the meantime? Okay, sweet. Now please welcome, coming on up to the stage, Team SM24. Welcome, Team SM24.
Hello, CES. Hello, CTA, and be gentle, judges. Hi, I'm James. I'm one of the co-founders of SM24. And if you just think about it, for the last 24 hours and the next 24 hours, your glucose levels are likely to be a little bit wobbly with all the talking, the schmoozing, maybe not sleeping, maybe the odd alcoholic beverage. I'm here in the next 2 minutes, 40 seconds to take you on a journey of non-invasive continuous glucose monitoring through the power of sweat. First of all, a quick background. I'm a former pro track athlete. I'm a veteran. I was a national coach in one of the sweatiest places in the world of Singapore. I founded a research-backed hydration company called SOS that's available in CVS. I thought I was healthy. I wasn't. I actually became pre-diabetic. I was fortunate, I got out of it. But looking around this little room now, or even the massive ecosystem over there, 1 in 5 of you sat here are potentially pre-diabetic. There are all sorts of apps out there, and that took me on an adventure. And that adventure was basically, I tried what is the rage at the moment, the interstitial patches, the ones you jam on your arm. I tried blood, and obviously no one likes having their blood taken. I looked at sweat, and I liked sweat, but you had to basically sit in a sauna for sweat to work. But we came up with my co-founder and also our commercial partner, Imperial College, a way to measure sweat in a non-invasive environment in a low sweat position that correlates to blood glucose. Not only that, the sensor can be fit into bands, to watches, onto a patch. The sensor is the size, if any of you have a pen in this 21st century world, the size of the tip of your ballpoint pen. Obviously, the world is looking for non-invasive glucose monitoring, and it's really exciting that we're looking forward for it. It takes a team to build a village. I'm the lucky one stood up stage with these guys and girls. My co-founder, Coralie's got 20 years of wearables experience. She is also a PhD, and we have a cracking team of people around us who are all specialists and experts in their field to help us deliver it. We are at the prototype stage. We're now raising to take us to a final MVP. And our go-to-market strategy is simple. We don't want to be our own big mega brand. We want to be like a Glucose Inside or an Intel Inside, an ability to chat. If you look and think around, especially go upstairs or down the road, think of the big health tech, big med tech, all of those companies, all of them want it. Have a think of some of those, and it's likely that we're already talking to them because that was what we want. Our sensor needs to be replaced, like the interstitial patches. You swap it out every 2 weeks and then dispose of it. So there's a multi-revenue model and looking at a licensee approach. That was SM24. We're in booth 60712, so if you turn right around and walk straight that way, you will find us and come and check us out. And wish me luck with these 3 next. Thank you very, very much for listening in. Greatly appreciated. Hello, team.
Thank you, SM24. Judges?
James, so nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again,
I
indeed.
mean in person. We never met in person. Always Zoom, Zoom, Zoom.
Indeed.
Yes. So your go-to-market strategy is B2B?
Yes, that's correct.
Are you working in any partnership currently?
We're working on several that are very exciting, but obviously it's very early stages. So the key goal is to continue to develop the device and to continue shrinking it to where we need to get it to.
More than this? It's already a tip of a phone.
It is already tiny, but obviously the benefit of partnering with other companies is they already know how to do the battery. They have space in their circuit boards to play with, so we can fit it in.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Yeah, can you speak to, please, the factors that may impact the consistency and accuracy of measurements? And then secondly, any need for personalized kind of calibrations?
2 good questions. First, in terms of how we actually measure, because the sensor itself rests on the surface of the skin, we all sweat, or you ladies glow, all the time, and the sweat is constantly pushed through your pores. So as a result, it's reducing the chaos of having to pool sweat or getting it going or shoving something into your arm. So we found in our studies so far, and we're going to be going down the FDA 510K route, we found in our studies so far that it correlates very nicely to blood. The time it takes is about 30, 40 seconds when you put it on your body in a low sweat environment, or even high sweat, to start working, and there it correlates live in real time with blood. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Are you partnering with insurance organizations?
Well, insurance is a wonderful place to play.
And it's very different in the UK than it is
Well,
in...
I'm actually an American, despite the dodgy accent. The insurance world, I understand it. It's obviously huge. So yes, it's an area that by getting people active, especially the pre-diabetic space, the health obesity space, by giving people the opportunity, and it's not just glucose we measure, it's also lactic and hydration. Lactic is massive for the medical side, from sepsis, from obesity to gaining weight. If you have a tracker on you and you've got a lactic monitor that's telling you you're burning fat, that's unbelievably fun.
All right. Well, you know what?
Thank you very much.
It's all good. Everybody, please make some more noise for Team SM24. So much. All right, judges, I'm going to let you do your thing. All right, fellow judges, I'm coming out to you now to ask you for something that you picked up, something that you learned about SM24 that stood out to you while you're also tabulating your scores. So let's see. Somebody please throw your hand on up if you've got something that you want to say about SM24, what you just learned about SM24. All right, in the back, pardon me.
They're looking for partners. I want to talk to them.
All right, you see.
I have to say. That's all I have to say. You're looking for partners. I want to talk to you. That's amazing. Yep.
All right, thank you so much. Everybody, let's clap that up. Connections being made here in real time. We good, judges? Okay, cool. All right, now please welcome up to the stage Team Strap Technologies Incorporated. Please welcome up Team Strap Technologies Incorporated.
According to WHO, every 5 seconds, someone in the world loses their sight. And while a lot of industries has evolved a lot, some others have not. This is a car from today, really innovative, and this is a car from 100 years ago. Big difference, right? Now, this is a white came from 1921, the first one ever invented. And this is a white came from today. In over a century, nothing has changed. And in a world with a such rate of change of ours, this tool stops being precise and became outdated. So this exposed the blind and visually impaired to head injuries, chest injuries, floor injuries. The cane, while you tap, if you don't tap, you don't get feedback. If you tap one side, you uncover the other one. It gets lost, it has blind spots. It has many other challenges to address on the white cane. So I want to introduce you to ARA. Since we're innovating to make the world available for everyone and truly evolving every industry on the assistive tech for the visually impaired. So ARA is the first of its kind total replacement of the white cane in the world. This wearable makes the blind be able to move by themselves, more faster, more secure, without needing to ask for help from anyone. No cane, no other humans involved. This works through a LiDAR sensor and an ultrasonic. Can you go back, please? This works through a LiDAR and ultrasonic array that is able to understand the world, and it will detect any kind of obstacle around to be able to notify the user of possible collisions through a haptic feedback embedded on the wearable. Depending where is the vibration located in the sequence, will tell you where is the obstacle located around you. So this way, any blind person is able to navigate around the city or the CES without any trouble. We also have, you don't need to take my word for granted. We also have users like Fernando who are able to play football along with non-impaired people totally by himself. We built a company in May of 2020, and since I'm not blind, we work to make a community of visually impaired people for beta testing. And when you hear and feel their testimonies, you really accomplish product market fit, and we validate product market fit, right? So this is Marcella's testimony. I feel free for the first time. I feel like I could regain some of the independence that I had before losing my sight. It is having new eyes, a shown light on the way. We launched our product 3 months ago, and right now we're shipping in 16 different countries with hundreds of daily active users a day. And you may think this is a small niche, but today we have almost 300 million visually impaired people in the world. And the forecast says that for 2050, we're reaching 700 visually impaired people. And the market size growing at an annual compound rate of 13%. I'm Diego Roel, and this is a new generation of wearable autonomy to rediscover every step. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Strap Technologies. Judges.
Nice to see you in person again. How does user get used to the product? Does it take a long time? Does it require training?
A little training needed. In 3 minutes, the device, you plug headphones, and it teaches you itself to use it. In 3 minutes, a person can use it. Actually, Mike, which is right here from Good Maps, tested on our booth earlier. In 3 minutes, he was able to move around all the CAs without colliding with anything. On the other side, the cane needs around 2 weeks of courses and a lot of hours to learn how to use it.
Does it include voice or just tapping only?
All the notification while navigating the world is through haptics and vibrations, but the device teaches you how to use it through headphones.
And do you retain the mapping element of where they're walking, or
what?
Are you retaining the map element of where they're walking as you 3D scan with your LiDAR technology?
That's why we don't use cameras. The world is made of matter and frequencies, not lights. Yeah. If we turn off the lights, we don't see nothing, but the world is still there. So this is the first frequency-based camera, and we're tracking all the world and gathering all the information of materials, infrastructure, traffic, silhouettes, everything. So yes.
And just kind of piggybacking on his, I'm interested, how heavy is the device and how long does the charge last? And do you charge it? Like, is it a battery?
Yeah, it lasts the battery 2 days of full use. And 2 days of full use, so you can charge it with your phone and you won't have any problem. And it weighs about half a pound. It's really lightweight.
So is the sensing capability impacted by bad weather? That's one. And then secondly, are you able to sense objects that might be coming towards you, in particular from the side?
So yes, the device do work in a variety of climate, like snow or rain. Of course, you cannot put yourself in the middle of tornado on a big thunderstorm. But yeah, it can work in a wide spectrum of climates. Actually, we have users in Boston, for example, and this winter we were like concerned, but no, it worked perfectly. The other question, sorry?
Objects that may be coming at you, for example, towards the side, rather than, line of sight.
Yeah, so we have sensors on the head, on the chest, on the floor, on the sides, and we're tracking movement, velocity from the object, from the user, and we change the behavior depending on the environment. As fast as I'm running, as more anticipation the device gives to you to be able to react. We know if the obstacle is going from left to right, from right to left, and the speed from the obstacle towards you.
So how has it been tested and validated for safety and effectiveness? How have you done that?
Do you mean like certifications? Or
yes.
Yeah. I mean, we are approved by FCC and the CE for US and Europe. We do all kind of tests, free fall, short circuits, quality assurance on the reliability of the device. We don't pretend to give you superpowers or make you Iron Man, but it does a day-to-day life of a visual impaired to collide even with the cane. We reduce up to 90% of collisions on a day-to-day basis.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's make some more noise for Strap Technologies. Thank you so much. I'm still thinking about the soccer video. That's wild. So judges, I'll let you do your thing. Judges, I'll let you do your thing. And also, I'm coming down now to see who has something that they'd like to share that moved them about the Straps technology, presentation coming down. So just throw your hand on up if it's really, really brimming in you and you want to share what you thought and how you were moved. Okay, yes. Here we go, Mike.
Diego, that's amazing. I saw it 4 years ago, and a big part of a device like this is it something clunky that I'm willing to wear in return for the benefits that I get? And what I saw today was a dramatic improvement in something that I would be proud to use. My question I forgot to ask you was, in terms of stairs down, the obstacle detection devices for many years have always been fine about obstacles in front of you or even upstairs, but what about curbs and downstairs?
That's one of our value propositions. We have the patent of downstairs, upstairs. We can even detect a small bump or hole or anything, any irregularity in the floor just through sensors. It's already patent pending. So it works perfectly.
Thank you, Diego. Appreciate you. All right, everybody, let's clap it on up again for Strap Technologies. You guys have so much hard work in front of you because we have now come to our final startup of the afternoon. Please welcome to the stage Team Xander.
All right. So I'm Xander, and I'm really excited to be here with you today to share our company. So if you are like one of the 1.5 billion people with hearing loss, that's exactly how I might sound to you. So Xander is treating hearing loss, but unlike any other approach, we're not trying to make another pair of hearing aids. We're actually, only 1 out of 6 in the US who could benefit from hearing aids actually use them. There's cost, there's comfort, there's the stigma, and oftentimes they don't work. No, Xander is using augmented reality smart glasses to show real-time captions of what other people are saying right in your field of view. We are launching in the spring to people who have the most severe hearing loss and spend tens of thousands of dollars on hearing aids they don't work. What we like to say is, if I can't hear what you're saying, Xander glasses can help me see what you're saying. Next month, we're launching a pilot program with the VA. Now, veterans suffer from hearing loss disproportionately from the rest of us. The guns, the explosions, the machinery that they experience create the #1 health problem among veterans. And we are starting a pilot with the VA so that veterans can experience these glasses. Now, we have one competitor. Big tech is coming with glasses. So how do we actually survive, right? We're building Xander glasses as a single feature on-off appliance. So the simplicity is you open the box, you take out the glasses, you turn on the power button, and they just work. No one can touch us on simplicity. We're building the speech-to-text in the glasses. So they are completely reliable. They don't need a cloud or a smartphone. You can use them anywhere, anytime in the world. And because we're not relying on a cloud service, we're not storing conversations, we're not sending 1 byte of your personal data to a cloud service, so nobody can actually touch us on privacy. And building this product as a single feature appliance gets us into the conversation of, hey, can we get reimbursed by insurance? Because it really is a single feature health device. Now, our team has extensive experience in audio processing, augmented reality, hearing industry, and we are excited to bring this to market for you. Now, if we just take a second and look around the room, 1 out of every 6 people here statistically has hearing loss and is probably struggling to hear everything I'm saying. I know in the back you are. And not hearing isn't the biggest problem with hearing loss. It's actually the isolation that comes from not being able to participate in conversations. In fact, those 1 out of 6 people may not even be in this room because it's so difficult to hear. They're probably at home or somewhere else. So Xander glasses can help. So to take a line from CES, Xander glasses can help bring people into this room to be in it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex. Judges?
First of all, congratulations for being with us this year.
Thank you.
And being the winner in Eureka Park as well.
Thank you.
So my question for you is, first of all, I love the privacy and the fact that you're not uploading the data. This is so incredible and very much needed, especially in today's world. My question for you is, I have a problem if I look at a white light for a long time.
Yeah.
So how can I go in from wearing it to going into my normal life?
Oh, yeah.
Is the projection into the glass affect my vision?
No, it doesn't. It uses a waveguide display. It's see-through. The captions appear about arm's length away from you, which is usually the distance that you're away from when you're talking to someone. The text is actually light. It's simple. It's kind of integrated visually into the background, and it's not jarring. Yeah.
So in conversation with you, let's say we're sitting at a table with 2 or 3 people, how do you differentiate? Do I have to, if I'm wearing the Xander glasses, do I have to be looking directly at you, and will it pick up another conversation?
Yeah, that's a great question. In like a dinner conversation, the glasses will pick up a range of people that are close to you. I like to say that the glasses can pick up the hearing the way a typical hearing person can hear. And so if I'm at one end of the table and I'm having a conversation with 3 people and I can hear them, then the glasses can probably hear them too. What we've also found in those situations is that people don't actually talk over each other that are nearby. And so the problem of having multiple voices at the same time socially doesn't happen as much as we feared it would. And so the glasses will pick up when people are talking over each other, yeah, that'll be a problem, and we wouldn't be able to handle that right now. But also, most people would also have a problem. So you would actually have to say, wait, one at a time.
And just real quick, what's the cost of the glasses?
So the average price of a pair of hearing aids is $4,600 in the US. We're still setting the price about $1,500 to $2,000. But because it's a health appliance, FSA account, HSA account, and on the path to health reimbursement, employer accommodations. So there are a lot of opportunities to subsidize the price of health products. So some people can afford them out of pocket, and we're hoping there's programs to help people who struggle a little more.
So a couple of questions. One is really a follow-on to Nicole's. What's the upcharge for prescription lenses in particular, and also, how broad of a range of prescriptions can be accommodated? Mm-hmm. The other one is, what about multilingual capabilities?
Right. Prescription lenses, I believe we can get prescription lenses made for $100 to $150. They just insert right into the glasses, so you can get your prescription there. The second question was on languages. We can load one language at a time, so we can ship the product with multiple languages, but then the user will have to choose which language they want to communicate with. Just the limitations of the device, but most people, that's probably okay.
But then a follow-on, please. In case of a situation where you have multiple languages, how do you control that without an app?
So there is a voice control and a touchpad. And so the touchpad is on the side of the glasses. The primary use of the touchpad is we found that people want to position the captions. I want them on your face. I want them next to you. I want them down here. I want the font bigger. I want the font smaller. So the simple, intuitive touchpad gesture really lets people kind of control that. And we can use languages from a voice command. You could say, we have some built-in voice commands. Command flip will actually change the order of the captions from top down to from newest on top to newest on bottom. So you could use a voice command to say, command Spanish, and then the glasses can change the languages from the English.
Thank you, Alex.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Team Xander. Appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, now since Team Xander was our final startup, judges, I'm going to give you the chance to relax in our lovely, luscious green room in the back as you finish tabulating up your scores. But as our judges head on over to the back, please give them a round of applause, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Nicole, Moaz, Ben, thank you so much. So we are going to do a little bit of a rearrangement magic up here in the meantime, because next up we have our panel. And in the meantime, I want to ask, have all of you made sure that you've used all of the instructions, the technology to submit your scores for each of our startups today? We've done it. Make some noise if you've submitted your scores. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm going to come down one more time now to ask you to tell me something that you dug about Xander. All right, so start thinking about Xander. Xander. And throw your hand on up. If you can share something that you learned that you did not know before you came in here today about Xander. I'm going to come on over to this side because I haven't gotten the chance to talk to y'all too much today. Anything? Xander? Oh, great. Here we go. Scott?
I was looking at other applications that the Xander glass could be used for, because we're working on technology with HoloLens or the next generation AR or VR capabilities, right? For enterprise.
All right. Thank you. So by the way, Scott is interested in talking with you afterwards in order to potentially partner with you. You got that, Alex? So Scott's right here in the second row. Again, make some noise for relationships being made right here, live at CES. Oh, wow, the chairs are already assembled. Are we good for the panel? Okay, cool. Awesome. I didn't even have to resort to my, my fun facts or jokes because they moved the chairs so quickly. All right, friends. Coming up next, we have our illustrious panel. Do we have all three are here? Fantastic. All right, so this is going to be a panel full of folks that have experienced so much within the startup space, so much that's incredibly relevant to today. And then after our panel, we're going to get a chance to reveal who our startup winners are today, or which startup winners receive the highest scores, I should say. So please, welcome to the stage. Coming up first, Melissa Andresco. Make some noise for Melissa Andresco. Melissa is Chief Corporate Brand Ambassador for Lutron. Yep, you can sit right on there, Melissa. Next, coming on up, we've got Sarah Storelli. Sarah Storelli, Senior Worldwide Public Sector Marketing Leader, Amazon Web Services, AWS. All right. And then finally, this guy's buddy of mine. You'll find out in a minute why. But Robbie Cabral, he's CEO and founder of BenjiLock. Robbie, welcome back. And I think you were just on this stage before this panel. Okay. So first off, before we even kind of dig into who each of you are, can you tell us what you thought about just the experience in terms of the startups that got up here, the startups that shared their pitches with this live audience, as well as in front of the group of judges? What stood out to you? Not necessarily any particular startup, but any sort of theme that stood out to you.
Sure, I'll start. Just the courage and the passion and the drive. I mean, seeing these folks come up here and just know that they have given so much of their life and their time and their money and their friends' money to make all this possible. And you know, it's just the innovation is amazing. I wish them all the best, and I just love to see that CES is back, tech is back, and it's just such a great vibe here.
Let's make some noise for CES being back. It's good to be back in person, y'all. So speaking of CES being back, Robbie, I know that you have a story that was kind of partially born in these halls. So I know Eureka Park is very close to your heart. Can you share with us the role that Eureka Park has played within your career, within your company, and what this CES means to you?
No, I will say I completely agree with you, Melissa, that it's glad to see that CES is back. It's alive and breathing, a lot of energy. So yeah, Eureka Park for me is like home away from home. It's kind of like where I unveiled my first prototype, and basically, it's kind of like taking your risk, putting your energy out there, your product out there, and just seeing all the pitches today. And I'm telling you, there's some really cool stuff. And I can relate because there's some really founder stories within each that if you share your story, you share your product, it will connect with people, and that's the beauty about Eureka Park.
Now, speaking of sharing your story and having it connect with people, Sarah, you literally work with a company that is all about connections. You're connecting large organizations, startup companies, people just across the board. So coming to a space like this, what inspires you? Because I know that there's so much to be guided by, but sitting in the front row, it looked like every person who came up here, you were like, oh, yeah.
Well, one, I would say the people themselves. I mean, I think everyone always has an interesting story to tell, and really their experience and background really of what shapes them, who they are, whether it was from their childhood or even, showing historical photos from how has technology almost not changed in 100 years. And so I think depending on what motivates people is quite exciting for us. I mean, especially not only me, but I think Amazon Web Services to really be able to help foster that innovation and talent.
And as we're talking about fostering that sort of innovation and that talent, Melissa, not to put a pun on it, but like you work for a company that literally brightens up people's lives. It's your job in order to illuminate things, okay? But in terms of talking about accessibility, you also get a chance to help to give people control over their homes. Can you talk some more about that?
Yeah, and this is something that I'm just super passionate about. I think, technology, not only for the person either aging in place or the person with the disability, but the technology benefiting the caregiver as well. I mean, I hear too many stories of people who say, I haven't been able to open my mini blinds in years because I've lost the use of my hand and I can't open the blind. Or, I have to, rely on others to do it for me. And the fact that Lutron has a technology that will allow you to automatically open and close the window shades, your curtains, either with the sound of your voice or the press of a button, it's giving newfound freedoms to people who thought, maybe some of those things had been lost. And, I think when I look at where we are as an industry in terms of this whole technology for good, I think this is going to be an area that we're going to just see continue to really explode over the next couple of years, because I think we heard a statistic yesterday at the CTA Foundation Board about the buying power of people with disabilities and the aging in place. And it's just an incredible opportunity. And the fact that we're able to give people the ability to turn on their lights, open their shades on their terms, and not have to rely, and that the caregiver can also look at an app and see, okay, I can leave the hallway light on 20% overnight so that if mom or dad has to get up in the middle of the night, that hallway is not going to be pitch black, or the stairwell is not going to be dark. So there's just tremendous opportunity in this space, and I'm excited that Lutron's able to brighten up people's lives.
Thank you. Now, since we are talking about this particular space, I think you kind of brought up the idea of independence, of giving people a chance to control their spaces, to control their lives, with some assistance, but still by themselves. From all three of you, so you can choose who goes first with this, I'm curious about what are some trends that you're seeing in the industry when it comes to independence, when it comes to technology that empowers people to be able to live full lives themselves?
I can start. So one of the areas that I oversee at Amazon Web Services are part of our cloud innovation programs, and so that comprises our cloud innovation centers, which are at multiple locations around the world, primarily universities, but also commercial space. And with that, those are actually dealing with public sector, with private sector partnerships, of course. And so we have customers coming in from whether it's governments, university institutions, or even nonprofits. And the really interesting part about that is that they approach us with the challenge that they've had, that they want help solved. And it's actually then that we come in and students themselves at these universities help develop the prototypes with Amazon Web Services experts to then give that back to the customer. And so it's actually tangibly and realistically helping them solve problems that's coming from an individual, and that we get to put it back, really, that technology in the hands of the users, not only locally, but even globally from a scalability perspective.
I'll tell you from my case, I'm very interested in everything related with a hearing aid. And a particular kind of use case is more, I'll use it with my mom personally. I call her kind of hard-headed because she's in that point of like, hey, I speak to her and, my kids are speaking to her and she kind of like, she's just rolling. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? We're actually speaking to you. Why you're not hearing? So then, she's at that point that I think she knows she's having issues with her, hearing and all that, but she doesn't want to accept that she needs help. So I'm very interested in that fad of technology and how you can make it very easy and accessible for, everyone, but people also that actually are in need but don't feel like I don't need to wear anything because, I'm okay. But no, there's a need for it. So very excited for that area.
Right, and you all might not know this, but Rob, you have a background in music, in audio, in rock star stuff, right?
Yeah, I lost a little bit of my.
So there is no age. It knows no age, And now, Melissa, I wanted to open this up back for you, though. Was there anything else that you wanted to share in terms of, trends that you happen to be seeing within the industry that are related to helping people to feel empowered to live independent lives?
Going back to the original answer, I think that the whole aging in place is certainly not going away as the baby boomers continue to get older. And, I'm just more excited about what's next that we're not sure of yet. Right now, Lutron works with a lot of different alliances to help make that experience better. So, even the fact that Lutron works with Ring, cameras and doorbells. So there's that extra security and peace of mind for the caregiver and the person at home too. You don't want your 80-year-old mother, answering the door necessarily to a stranger. So I'm just really encouraged by the fact that accessibility continues, and we're going to see an even stronger continued focus on it by manufacturers, and just help these people live better lives and live in their homes longer.
Yes. Now, actually, can we give this panel a round of applause so far? Because I think everyone's just being polite. They're being polite. Thank you. Now, so with that in mind, though, right? So thinking about looking at the industry, looking at our world, and seeing what are the issues. Sarah, in fact, you said that as a part of AWS is you literally are taking feedback from one by one people and turning that into mission statements for yourselves. That sounds wonderful in theory, but in terms of practically making things, because you all are involved in making things happen, what are some of the difficulties and what are some of the challenges that come from concept to creation to then actually delivering something to the end user? And then, of course, like the education that you have to share with people so that they understand how to use what you just spent so much time creating. This is wide open.
I'll take it first.
Go for it. You got it.
So at Amazon, we have Amazon's working backwards process, so broader beyond just AWS, but from Amazon. So we're really looking to attack what is that problem first. So versus folks just kind of tossing out information, you're really actually getting to the core of what is the key root of the issue. And then from there, really maniacally dialing back, like what is actually going to go help solve X. And so with that kind of methodology, that helps along the way. And of course, you can still figure out different kinks, but it actually at least can more or less even help you get there faster, but it's also an iterative process. So one thing that Amazon and AWS stands on is just the constant iteration. So it's almost like progress versus perfection. So many times people want to just get to, 100% right off the bat, but it's a constant iteration evolution, which is actually reflective of all of us as well.
Actually, when you brought up iteration, I know that the original question was something else, but you just took this in a better place, I think. With iteration, I know that that's something that all of us in this room can probably relate to, right? The idea of having the idea, hoping that the first draft is going to be the final draft, and then learning this is not the case. Melissa, with Lutron, and I'm not asking you to necessarily tell me what the exact product is. I don't know if that's proprietary. But can you think of one product, one item that you all have created where the iterative process took a lot longer than what you had anticipated?
So, Lutron, as most companies are and should be, is very customer-centric. So I think we have a product out called Caseta by Lutron, and it's a DIY smart lighting system for your home. It was introduced in 2014, and I can tell you that we're still iterating today, 8 years later, because our customers are telling us it would be great if I was able to do these experiences in my home. And obviously every home you're curating a different experience that's going to cater to your home, to your family, to your lifestyle. So we continue to figure out who are those alliance partners within the industry that are going to enhance that experience. And as recently as even a year ago, we were announcing new alliances. So it's all about figuring out what does the customer need. The product has stayed the same. I mean, there's been obviously some iterations along the way of colors and whatnot, but really it's been evolving in terms of that customer experience in the home and what products it makes sense for us to integrate with.
Gotcha. It's always this living, growing thing.
And it'll continue to happen. I mean, it's like I said, 8 years later, and it's, still iterating.
8 years is a long time.
Ask me next year where we're at.
Okay. Now, Robbie, can you talk to us a little bit about BenjiLock? Because I know that iteration has played a large role in the development of where you were when BenjiLock first started and where you are now. So take us through that, please.
Well, I think you were one of the first that actually discovered me in the ropes here. So yeah, I mean, it was basically a simple prototype, an idea that actually came because things happen in life, and sometimes you really don't intend to create something, but life puts you in a situation that ideas sparks, and how do you take that and now execute it to that next level? So long story short, now Benji Lock has become from one single product, biometric and key, to a whole portfolio of products, travel, bike locks for your bike, door locks, you name it. But when it comes to this whole topic of accessibility, it really touched a point, because at the time I really was not thinking about it. But then you start seeing it, and actually it's all in front of your eyes. In the case, for example, of a lock, people forget their combinations, people forget their keys. Sometimes they have vision impairment. So why not the ease of access with your biometrics? So, it's interesting. Technology, sometimes when there's too much technology in it, it could get complicated, especially for the disabled and people that are in the older ages. But my goal is to always keep it simple, stupid in a way. And I think that works.
That simplification is something that I do think that each one of our startups that came up here today, they were challenged to have to boil down something that probably they've been working on for several years, but they had to boil that down into 3 minutes. 3 minutes so that we could all understand it and so that the judges can understand it. So actually, for all of our startups that happen to still be in here, I want to give you all a round of applause just for that, because I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that a different skill? Like that requires a different skill set to be able to create something, but then to actually be able to communicate what you just did.
And in a concise way. Even once again, going to the AWS and Amazon format where we have 6-page narrative. So you have to actually get your thoughts on a very concise way, and it's actually harder to communicate clearer with a shorter amount of space and words, and even to the market, versus just thinking you can talk extemporaneously and have more space. So it's actually more of an art and even a science to be able to communicate in a much smaller capacity.
That, by the way, you all can't see this, but there's a clock right here that is counting down. So as each of these startups were up here on stage, they had these numbers glaring at them at the exact same time, realizing, okay, they've got to keep it going. Kind of like they're glaring at me right now, telling me I've got to keep it going. So Melissa, since you work within you work within a messaging realm, right? Because working as a brand ambassador, you have to also be able to communicate things. Do you have to communicate within Lutron as well as to the consumers and to other businesses, or is your focus mainly communicating to folks within the group?
I have responsibility for both.
Okay. So any tips that you can kind of give us in terms of ideas of ways that we can communicate efficiently, thoroughly, but also impactfully?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think about, so one of the things I always talk about, I've been telling the smart home story now. I've been with Lutron for 25 years, and I've been trying to tell the dimmer story for that many years to the consumer media. And I think for me, it's all about boiling it down to what's the problem it's going to solve, what's the benefit, and to your point earlier, keep it simple, stupid, right? But I think really the benefit is just come out of the gate strong. Just what's that one-liner that's just going to knock everybody's socks off? How do you summarize everything that's going to do in one short sentence that's going to make me say, oh, okay, I get it. That's amazing. I got my attention. So yeah, 3 minutes is not a lot of time when you've been working on something for years and have so many wonderful things that you want to tell the story about.
Yeah. And Robbie, I know that you have experience with that because you've had to pitch more than once. You did like a little show that's on ABC as well, where like inventors get on up and about like some fish swimming around or something. But can you tell us a little bit about your preparation for that? Just because all of this discussion about keeping things concise and being able to get directly to the point, I feel like there's a lot of pressure when you go on a show like that to get your thoughts out there and to try to get through people's questions at the same time.
No, I think it's tough. You guys got 3 minutes here. I think I only had a minute and 50 seconds.
150?
Yep. And so you really have to kind of like put your effort into it, memorize it and all that. And I don't know how they went through, but in my case, I remember I did not eat for a whole day before I actually went in, because I was like, let's just go in and let all that energy out. I'll pass out after, so. So I'm inspired by what I'm seeing today, 3 minutes.
Beautiful. And in fact, speaking of 3 minutes, so I'm told that we have about 49 seconds before I've got to wrap up here. Does anybody happen to have a question, like a really concise question to ask our panel before these 39 seconds are up? Just throw your hand on up and I'll run it out to you. Any questions? Gonna do a scan. Do a scan. Was that a hand up? There was a stretch. Okay, I support the stretch too. Okay, cool. Fantastic. Well, in that case, I want to give the three of you these last 19 seconds in order to just like share any bits of encouragement with this group, knowing that you're speaking to a crowd here in Eureka Park that's full of technology in their brain, full of innovation, full of thought. Why don't we start with Melissa, and then we'll go on down the road.
Yeah, I think I live by the mantra that everything happens for a reason. So if this wasn't your moment today, that moment is coming. So don't give up, keep persevering, and keep at it with that same vigor that you came up here today. So keep trying.
Awesome.
I would reframe your mindset and even the word failure to learn by doing, which is also the alma mater, or the motto of my alma mater, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. So go Mustangs, but learn by doing, folks.
Okay, Mustangs. All right.
Mine is very simple. Don't be afraid to dream big. That's always kind of been my mantra.
Well,
Don't be afraid to dream big.
Well, you know what? I think that we all have been very lucky that you all three of you will probably populate our dreams and our thoughts as we keep on hustling and keep on working out here. So everybody, please give a round of applause for our panel. Melissa, Sarah, and Robbie. And actually, speaking of big dreamers, let's welcome Steve Ewell back on up to the stage. Steve, come on up, please. And make some noise for Steve.
Great. No, please thank our panelists. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Robbie. And thank you, Albert, for leading a great conversation. And Albert, I'm actually going to keep you up here with us, and we're going to bring our judges back up. So Nicole, Ben, and Moaz, please join us back up here on stage. And then I would like to invite our sponsors up. So Mr. Fukuda, would you mind joining us? Thank you again to Canon. And then Robbie, would you join us for Benji Lock? So, all right, here we are. Robbie, you just can't seem to leave the stage today. I don't know what's going on with you. All right, well, we had 9 really incredible pitches. Based on all of your voting, it was a very close contest. There were a lot of people that liked a lot of technologies today. And I know our judges here had a big debate over which direction to go. In fact, we might have a little extra announcement here to share here in a moment. But you know, first up, we want to announce the audience choice winner. This is based on all of your votes selecting one of the winners. And we'd like to invite to the stage Xander. All right, and since this is the audience choice, I want all of our judges and everyone, please, we're actually going to turn our back to the audience. You never should do this, but let's get a quick photo with the audience who chose. So, oh, you're going to be right here in the middle.
All right, okay.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Great. Awesome. All right, now, let's look out towards the audience, too. So, congratulations again to Xander for your pitch, and, you know, congratulations.
Thank you for liking us. Thank you for liking us. I appreciate that. It really means a lot. All right, here you go. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we're actually mixing things up a little bit here. So, one of our judges, Mr. Moaz Hamid, is incredibly generous and was really moved by so many of the pitches, but one in particular really moved him. So we're adding an extra award in. So our second place prize for the award today is to Robocavision. All right, everyone, let's come together again on stage, and we'll look at the photographer. Crowd in. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right. And our grand prize winner, and this was a tough race, as I said, but our grand prize winner today is Good Maps. Good Maps. All right, with crowd in together again for a photo. Congratulations. And really, congratulations to all of the companies that pitched. You really had some amazing technologies, and I encourage you, all of their booths are here at CES, so make sure you go visit them, get a chance to get to know more about the work that they're doing, and I really see great things ahead for all 9 of these companies. So thank you again for being here. Thank you to our judges. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our panelists. Thank you to Albert for keeping us on time throughout the day, and Established for helping with all the logistics for this event. So thank you, of course, as the audience.